Let's get going here. I have something really interesting for you guys today. So no doom and gloom, right? No scare tactics like we were talking about. I don't know if you have ever wondered what the rest of the world is doing for their seniors and preventing falls, but I have. So, yeah, well, not necessarily. You have Japan and China, whose China's economy is on the brink, and it has been for a while. And Japan, you've got in both of those countries, as well as here, our birth rate replacement, or our birth replacement rate is below what it needs to be. And the problem with that is, in order to maintain civilization, you have to have a birth rate. I think it's at 2 point something. We're below that. So we're needing in a big need with the rest of the countries of having babies, because we need nurses, right? There was some legislation here a couple of years ago that was looking to get passed here in the United States Congress, all right, and the Senate, that was going to add money to our health care and our social health care services, targeted at, there was a specific section in the bill targeted at health care for seniors, and specifically in home health care. Unfortunately, it hasn't passed yet, but they're still deliberating and debating. You know how these things go. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this situation we have here in America, where 10,000 people turn 65 every day, we're going to be in a position where we can hire and take care of our seniors, me included in that. So sitting at my desk, just going through my emails, I had an email come through, and it was from a source from Japan. Now, I have my Google search set on all sorts of things, so I get all kinds of emails, and I delete a lot of them. But this caught my eye because it was specifically talking about seniors in Japan. And I thought it was fascinating because this is from the Japanese Orthopedic Association, and it's a proposed concept. How do they define fall risks? How do they identify people who may be a fall risk? We have different assessments we do here in class, right? Our one-legged balance test, or our assessment we do every class. You also have the Romberg test, which can help test for neurological diseases. Japan does similar tests, but you know one area that they take into consideration that we do not as Americans? Anxiety and depression. So part of their survey that you filled out, you answer a series of questions, mainly doing with your physical activity and how well you move or how confident you feel. Same here, but there's one specific section that's talking about anxiety and depression. Now, one thing anxiety and depression do to the brain is it shrinks it. And as we age, the synapses in our brains get further apart. The benefit of being here in class is the socialization. We've talked about that and how that pulls the brain together. And also, most importantly, the exercise, which is extremely important for the brain. So with depression being a big issue in our senior community, what we want to do is make sure that we reach out to our friends and make sure that they're getting some kind of contact. Get out in the sun, go for a walk with them. I thought it was fascinating that they would include that, because to me, depression and anxiety is a huge indicator for a fall risk. But we do not have a test that will go into that sector to try to identify people with those issues. So, in my opinion, Japan is, Nancy, to your point, ahead of the curve there. So it's called the Geriatric Locomotive Function Scale. If you'd like to take that test, I'll give it to you. You can do that, bring it back, and we'll have a little fun with it. All right, we'll do that at the end of class. Otherwise, let's stand, let's go behind our chairs, let's rock and roll.